Hey fam, hey, welcome back to my channel. Here we are at another Sunday night with SisterWives season 19. Y'all, were you on pins and needles for this engagement party? I was, because we knew from the previews that Robin and Cody were coming, but then Christine said Cody and Robin weren't coming. So I was like, for real? Like they're not coming? Well, then she came back and said she found out they were. Girl, we gonna get into it. I hope you are sitting down somewhere. If you're driving to work, go ahead and turn this up, bump it in the car, get your coffee, get your tea. We're gonna talk about this engagement party and a couple other things. So sit back, relax. We're gonna get into it right after this theme song.
Had 4 wives, one is saying, 3 have packed and gone. Kids don't smile upon me, lost my faith in the dawn. Big house feels so empty, lonely halls and broken dreams. One wife by my side now, nothing is as it seems.
Okay, y'all, so first, did anybody peep The Devil Went Down to Georgia opening music that they played? So you know whenever you heard that song, if you know that song, you are probably Gen X or older. But that song used to be the jam. And it was about these two, it was about the devil, and he goes down to Georgia and he meets this boy and he challenges him to a duel on the fiddle and he thinks he's going to win, but then the boy ends up winning. You just got to go back and listen to that song. Well, that was kind of the feel of the opening music that they played for this episode. So we knew that something was probably coming. And there was. Janelle was going over to Meri's house. And this is the conversation where Janelle was going to warn Meri about her part of the property for Coyote Pass. Now, of course, she comes in. She tries to be, very cordial with her. But Meri is kind of already giving her those vibes. Like, we ain't never really been cool, they lie. So I'm not really sure why you're here, right? In between that, we see Cody even, he's found something else even in the snow to ride so he can go up and shovel snow and do whatever. And he says that the kids are going to help him go out and unbury the truck. Okay, I just have a question. Why is this man always got his kids doing work like he got child labor all up and through? Every time you see him with a kid, once they get old enough, he's taking them out in the snow. He did it with Truly when she came to visit. Now he's doing it with these kids. Patterns repeating. Anyway, while they are trying to unbury the truck, one of the kids hits the truck and he stops. And he goes, "Oh, you hit the truck." And then says, "I just have to keep my manners, keep my temper from exploding because I want this to be a good experience." See, narcissism. It's all about him, his. And if anything about him or his gets ruined, touched, damaged, hurt feelings, he already wants to go off at like level 10. Anyway, Janelle comes in, she sees the house, she sees that there's a lot of stuff missing, like the couch that they bought in Vegas and the chairs that they bought in Vegas. And she's like, wow, so what's going on? And Meri says, I'm moving. And I love Janelle because Janelle just says, well, you know what? It's about dank time. And it is. Meri should have been gone. Meri should have been gone in like season 15. Meri should have been gone right after the catfishing and she did the divorce from Cody and Robin. I think we all probably match on that fact. And I don't really know if I can find more than a couple of people who would say differently, but she really should have left. The moment that she found out he melted down her ring, she should have been gone. So, of course, she says, Meri is just very loyal. Meri is like, that dog that just never wants to leave. Now, of course, Janelle, being who she is, clarifies that and says, I'm not trying to call Meri a dog. We knew you weren't, but it's true. She has said a couple of times, Meri is loyal to a fault. And whenever I say that someone is something to a fault, it means you do it until you don't even realize you're hurting yourself. It's to a fault. So, yes, Meri should have been gone, but I'm glad she has finally arrived at this decision to move out of Flagstaff, go up to the B&B, and do her thing up there. And we can see now, because we are so far behind, like I always mention, that she really is flourishing. She has her friend Jen. She has other friends that she's made in the time that she hasn't been on the show. She has had some retreats. I don't think those have been very successful, but at least she's out from up under the thumb of somebody who just wanted to be performative in a relationship with her. So then Janelle says, well, you know what? I feel free. You know, Cody and I have decided it's just not going to work out, and I feel free. And she says, how are you? And Meri's like, I'm all right. It's just weird. Everything is weird to Meri. When she can't find a word to describe how she's feeling, it's just weird. And then she says, well, I wish that things in the family could have gone another way. I wanted to look deeper at that comment. Part of me really just believes that on the surface level, she really wishes that the family would have worked out. But I think that there was so much more behind what she was saying. I really wish that Cody hadn't stopped loving me. I really wish that maybe the catfishing hadn't happened. I almost wonder if she wishes that Robin had not come into the family. Now, I only say that because I think that Meri has described herself, or someone in the family has sort of described her as the wife who would be on the lookout for another wife. And maybe there was some rockiness in the marriage, and she thought that by bringing someone else in, she would have the ally, and it didn't work out that way. I would love for her to really just sit down and maybe tell the truth about that or speak about that. Maybe she has, and I haven't heard it. But I think that's what she was trying to say in that comment. I wish the family could have gone another way. I wish that Cody was still in my life, I think was at the very end of that. I really do think that if Cody were to get it together in her mind and say, you know, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I've been saying I didn't love you, because I do. I still do. And so let's try to work this thing out. I think she would turn on her heels to be back in Flagstaff. I would like to say not, but I think it could happen. Maybe not now. There's been too much time and water under the bridge. But I think at that time he could have said that. So then we start talking about the marriages and how Meri suspected that Janelle was probably going to break up with them. And then they flash to this picture that they use all the time. And quite honestly, I have never quite paid attention to the background of that picture. And it just made me wonder tonight for the first time, where in the world was that picture taken? Because that was not Sears. That was not Kmart. That was not Glamour Shots. I don't know. It's like they set up a scene from like a theater prop shop. Like they put lamps and a couch. Like there was a theater production going on at the local high school, and they were like, hey, we're here to see this show, but let's get a picture on that couch. It looks very family-like. And then they took this picture. It's weird. I've never really looked at the background of that picture, but it just looks very, very odd to me now. Because I just never paid attention. But yeah, if you see that picture again, just look at the background, because it truly does look like, they took that at like Utah High right after their production of Death of a Salesman or something like that. So then they get to talk about like the money, and Janelle was like, listen, I'm just here to tell you that I've talked to Cody. He does not really seem to have the money to pay off the land. The bill is due in 75 days. And so I think I'm going to probably get a lawyer. I think you should think about your part and what you have in this. And Meri just basically looks at her and goes, well, I'm not worried about it. And I guess I always thought that you were the one who was handling all the money. So y'all, Cody done lied. Cody been telling them folks that Janelle was the one who had all the control of the money. So they all thought that when there wasn't enough money to do something, Janelle knew. Janelle said, I was just the bookkeeper. Wasn't me. I know where the money is. I know that we had money, but I was not in charge of spending the money. And she said on the couch, because if I was, we would be in a much different position right now. And I believe her. I believe her. Janelle was always the one in the family who thought about resources and not spending them and not overstretching themselves and saying, listen, we can't do my sister wives closet because I need to work. I need to put food on the table. Janelle was always that person. So now here we are. Janelle is in the position she's in. She's trying to have Meri's back. And Meri even says, well, don't you think we would have each other's back? Janelle said, girl, I don't know. Because these hoes ain't loyal. I don't know. I'll have your back. I'm having your back right now. But you act like you don't want to heed the advice I'm trying to give you. Meri still says, well, I'm not worried about it. Then she says, well, you know, Cody's always been very creative, you know, with how he, basically makes money. You know, everybody at one time or another has to rob Peter to pay Paul. And so, yeah, I mean, we've always gotten things done when we needed to get things done. How creative? What did he do? Tell us. Go ahead. Ain't nobody listening. It's just me and you. Tell me, how creative was Cody when he had to pay bills and didn't have no money? Meri in this scene proved again to me why she is not a favorite. Why she has never been my favorite. Now, last week, she had me a little bit on her side with the reveal of her carriage house. I really thought she deserved it. She has really gone through a lot. Happy birthday, Meri. And then this week, we turn around and we go, there she is. There she is. That's the one. That's the one I don't want to talk to. That's the one I don't like. So then she says, you know, I expect that Cody will be a gentleman about this whole thing. Has Cody been a gentleman up until now? Now, I'm not going to run through the list of things that make him not a gentleman to you, because if you rewatch the show, forget rewatching the show. Run back through your memories, girl, and you will see that he's not been a gentleman. The man offered to put you in a garage out above his cars and gave it a nice little name, a barn dominium, like he thought that sounded better. Even you said he want to just put me out there with the stuff that he doesn't want. But he's being a gentleman. So you think that your name is on one part of that property. You are entitled to a quarter, and you're going to trust him to make sure you get that. All because you don't want to give up how you feel about Janelle, and you want to stick on the cool kid side, hoping that they'll let you out on their property to sit on Robin's bench one more time. Word has it, they just bought a $2.1 million house. Janelle is going to have a farm with her kids. Christine has her own house and is married to the love of her life. You had to be gifted a house by your friends. Was he being a gentleman? Did he put in on the house? I think they said he gifted Gwendolyn a house and ain't gifted you jack. Now that's allegedly. I know he did give her a big gift for her wedding, but he ain't gave you nothing, girl. Okay, gentlemen. I think you need to be the next one up in Josephine's attic, sitting across from him having some kind of conversation. I'm just saying. I'm trying to have your back. So Christine and David, dressed alike and still speeding down the highway of love, are going house shopping. But not without Christine needing one more confirmation, in fact, that David likes her. They talked about the dating app fee that he had to pay in order to connect with her. He went ahead and paid it. And of course, she turned to him and said, was it worth it? And he's like, absolutely. He is like, girl, if you ask me one more time if I like you, I'm leaving. I like you. I like you. Stop asking me. She, of course, looks at house number 1 and up on the way up the driveway. She says that, they want to have a place for the kids to come and visit, but they don't want them to live with them. Christine said, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the bleep out of here. She said, you can't stay. You can come. You can have dinner. You can hang out. Then you got to go home because we got business to take care of. We got grown folks business to take care of. Christine also says that she knows what side of the bed that David likes to sleep on, but she doesn't know his habits because if one or the other stays at the other's place, they get up in the morning and they leave. They do that shame, that walk of shame, but she doesn't know, what sink he's going to use to wash his hands, what he likes to eat for breakfast. Does he blow his nose? Does he pass gas? All the things that once you marry someone, you find out. Ask me how I know. Child, Christine is just so happy that someone will shower at her house, keep clothes in her same closet, unlike Ramen Top. Remember, that was a big deal for her when they were in earlier seasons. And she always talked about how Cody would shower at Meri's house. And he said, well, it was because she had a better shower. And she wanted to make sure that he showered at her house. So now she has somebody who's going to shower at her house permanently. We then move on to Gwen and Bia's engagement party, and I have always called her B, so I am glad to hear them pronounce her name. I do think I've heard them pronounce her name before, and it is Bia. We find out that everybody drove together to the party. They sort of used it as a little road trip. They were able to sort of get to know David. David was able to get to know the kids, and so that was cool. Of course, Cody on his couch interview says that God told him that when Gwen came out, he was not to judge. He was supposed to love. God judges, you love. Although I don't think that Cody heard from God about his kids and wives. I don't think he got the same message. I don't know what message he got, but here we are. So, of course, they start talking about how old David is again. They like to really beat that point home. Who cares how old he is? Your mom is 50. Once you hit 50, it don't matter. As long as she loves who she loves, leave her be. I understand, you think she's going fast and all that good stuff. But then Gwen pretends to throw up. She does sort of that visceral pretend throw up thing when she hears that he's 59. And then, of course, it's like, well, that's only 9 years older. Stop talking about that man's age and leave him alone. They in love. Of course, during the party or getting ready for something, Truly is dancing a jig in the middle of the floor. I love Truly, y'all, because she is going to dance to the beat of her own drum. She don't care what y'all are saying. As the party gets going, we see that the door opens and Meri is invited and shows up to the party. Now, this was the surprise for me, let alone Cody and Robin. Meri shows up, and then behind her comes in Robin and Cody. Now, I wonder if they thought if we show up in a threesome, then we have each other's back. We can protect each other like Charlie's Angels kind of thing. But I love that Robin and Cody stayed on their side of the room. And, Meri was the one who went over and she talked to Christine and said that, of course, her and Christine talking was them playing nice. They hadn't seen each other in a very long time, but she did walk over to talk to them. And, they even hugged and had a moment and told each other they loved each other. Christine checked in on Meri and I just asked her, how you doing? You doing okay? And she said, yeah. She goes, well, Christine goes, it gets better on the other side. I promise it gets better on the other side. Meri again did not want to hear that. She's like, this is only a couple of months out. I'm not ready to be on the other side. I'm not ready to be there yet. That's okay. We know that she gets there. I'm just going to say, y'all, Gwen had a tattoo artist at her engagement party. If that don't scream bad A-B, I will do what I want. Nothing does. Gwen has also always been the one to go and move to the beat of her own drum, and I am here for it. Whenever you find that place in yourself that says, I will do what I want to do when I want to do it because I'm grown, I'm all for that. Have you met David? Christine says. Or someone says, have you met David? And Christine yells out, David, my boyfriend. I said, girl, simmer down. We know. That's been like this whole season for me. Basically, from the time David was introduced on this show, I have just watched this show with like, simmer down, simmer down. We got it. We know. He likes you. You're not engaged. You're moving in. You're buying rings. He's your boyfriend. He's your boyfriend. He's your boyfriend. He is your boyfriend. We know. They even go and get the matching tattoos that they talked about a couple of episodes ago, and it is New Beginnings in Celtic, and Christine gets it on her boob. She is defying Mormonism, AUBism, polygamy-ism. She is defying-ism, all of that, and Okay, go ahead. Live your life, Christine. I'm here for the fact that McKelty corrected that David had not only met and held the babies, but babysat them alone while she wasn't in the house. I think that, she was just saying it, but it felt good to see it because it was just kind of a little dig at Cody, who doesn't see his grandkids all that often. Yep, there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is David Woolley. So then, of course, as Cody looks around the room, he goes, she's here with her boyfriend. I'm here with my shy, pretty wife. You could have kept that. Because don't nobody believe Robin is shy and pretty is questionable. I mean, she ain't ugly, but God Lord, she ain't. Christine has kind of got that glow up. Janelle, they got that glow up going on. They kind of got Robin beat in the pretty department. So I'm just saying. Robin gives me Anna Duggar vibes. And the reason I say that is because the way she looks to Cody before she says absolutely anything is so maddening sometimes. Like, I feel like she has a voice and she uses it, but when she gets out in public, she does exactly what Janelle said she did when she first came into the family, which is to play that helpless damsel, in distress. I'm going to look to my man, and ask him or wonder if I can say anything. And then when she finally does, Cody gets mad about it because somebody else actually pays attention to her for it. David talked to Robin more. Maybe because David knows how you treated his soon-to-be fiance and he ain't really feeling you like that. Robin, I feel like he thinks might be in a situation she can't get out of. Although I don't know that David has really thought that long and hard about any of this, except what Christine tells him. He's like, listen, you mine now. I ain't really concerned with what happens with Robin and Cody. But I think he does think back on all that Christine has been through with Cody and some with Robin. But Robin made conversation with him, and so he engaged her because he's like, I'm a nice guy, and you're not going to turn me into something I'm not. I didn't catch what Cody said about someone was funner than any of his grandkids. I didn't know if he was saying that about Robin or who he was saying that about. I was really hoping that he wasn't saying that Robin was funner than any of his grandkids, because that right there answers why you didn't get told by Maddie that she was having a baby. If you're saying that Robin is funner than any of your grandkids, golly, like I would not want to turn on my TV and hear about that from nobody. That is crazy. All right, y'all. That's the end of my review. I don't know if I missed anything or not. This episode cracked me up in a few places, as you can hear. As always, Truly is going to make me laugh because she is just her own person and I love it. Next week, we see that one of the girls is really concerned about whether David is going to take the place of her dad. She is worried that her relationship with her dad will disappear. And we then also see that David takes Christine to his favorite place in Moab and finally asks that woman to marry him. Oh, I just have a feeling the rest of this season is going to be about her ring. I'm engaged. You know what? I really can't blame her, though, because when I got engaged, I don't think I said it that much, but I definitely was like, I was flashing my ring. And when I got married, I took every opportunity to say my husband, and I still do. So you get it, Christine. Live your best life, girl. Dance like nobody's watching. I heard that. All right, y'all. I'm going to see y'all next week. Same time, same place for Sister Wives, Season 19. Peace, love, and hair grease. We out.